Brethren, I greet you well and hope that you are all keeping safe. This awful period in our lives seems to be interminable, but it is important that we obey the rules, follow directions, and remain safe. My main concern over this time has been to ensure that we all stay together and do not forget what we are and what we stand for. To help to achieve this, there has been some remarkable innovations introduced by our resourceful members, and I believe that we have all enjoyed the various items. The caption competition continues to attract numerous entries each week, and that can continue for some time yet. The Masons Got Talent competition has proved a tremendous success. There were well over 30 entrants, and we all enjoyed the daily presentations. I was pleasantly surprised with the talent that we have in our province, and I congratulate all who took part. During the 7 weeks or so that it was running, we were entertained in many ways with a memorable performance in the first week by Worshipful Brother Arnold Franklow, aged 95, followed by singers, musicians, and magicians of varying levels of expertise. On June the 29th, it was announced that with more than 600 members casting votes, the winner was Brother Red Litchfield of Lodge of St. Paul in Kettering. I offer him my heartiest congratulations. I must also thank the compere throughout the series, Worshipful Brother Roger Blason. I am sure that he brought a smile to many faces. The University Challenge style quiz has also been an outstanding success. I am proud that several neighbouring provinces have taken our lead and are conducting similar competitions. There were some closely fought battles, and I found listening in very enjoyable. The final was won convincingly by Sartoris Lodge from Rushton, and I congratulate them on an outstanding performance. Many thanks must go to the quizmaster, Very Worshipful Brother Charles Bennett, who was so well supported by his wife Adele as scorekeeper. There are several other initiatives that are going on, and I consider these to be very important to maintain connection between our members. I would particularly congratulate the New and Young Masons Club for the efforts they are making to keep us all involved. There was recently a very interesting question and answer session with the Provincial Executive, providing the answers to the Light Blue Club questions. Brethren, during this lockdown, I have been meeting via Zoom with the other 5 PGMs from the Regional Group 6. That's Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire, Leicester and Rutland, Bedfordshire, Derbyshire and us. This group was allocated £100,000 by the Masonic Charitable Foundation to assist with COVID-19 caused problems in our areas. To date, we have secured funding of £4,000 for our 3 Pillars Feed the Homeless Trust, £2,000 for a small manufacturer to provide PPE equipment for Kettering Hospital, £3,000 for the Hope Centre in Northampton, who exist to relieve poverty, £2,400 for Palmer Court to provide meals for the vulnerable residents. And I did ask for £5,000 to support Raynet, an organisation which delivers food parcels to vulnerable people and deals with emergency situations. I managed to get this direct from the MCF on a matched basis. This £5,000 from them was matched by our provincial grand charity, and Raynet were then able to modernise their very important communication system. There may well be more money made available, so if anyone knows of a situation where money is required due to problems caused by COVID-19, please let me know. I would also mention that the Hope Centre in Northampton has been allocated a grant of £60,000 over 3 years. This will enable this organisation to continue their vital work. Brethren, I must mention a very sad matter. Worshipful Brother Stanley Wilford passed to the Grand Lodge above on Sunday the 14th of June. I was privileged to be invited to attend his funeral service. It was, of course, very restricted numbers, but a lovely ceremony with his family and some brethren taking part in proceedings. Stan gave 68 years of service to Freemasonry and was known and loved throughout our province. He will be greatly missed. You will all know that the original announcement from Grand Lodge was that Masonic activity would be suspended until the 17th of July. That date is rapidly approaching, and details will soon be issued by Grand Lodge in conjunction with Mark Mason's Hall as to how a recommencement could be managed. There are inevitably government-imposed restrictions to which we must abide. Even if small meetings are to be allowed, we have a responsibility to our members, and it may be that elder brethren amongst us will not feel comfortable with meeting again just yet. There is no Masonic activity due in our province until September, so we will be much better informed by that time to make decisions as to what we may suggest to our lodges. Although we are in what would normally be our inactive period, I would ask that we all try to remain in contact through the several channels that have evolved over recent months. I believe that this continued contact will help to keep members focused, but will also provide support for those that are perhaps still experiencing loneliness. Keep the virtual events happening, as I know that people are enjoying the efforts being made, and it does maintain our unity. Brethren, I'm approaching 40 years of membership of the craft, and it has been a rock on which I have relied heavily. It has not failed me. In my early days, I read something which was written by an American Mason in the 1960s, to which I have referred many times over the years. Allow me to share it with you. What then is Freemasonry? If it could answer, I believe it would say, I am rooted in the midst of great antiquity and point the way to God and eternity. I am the past, the present, and the future. I belong to the ages. I circle the globe and stand at the crossroads of the world. I am steeped in tradition and traced in the pages of history. I have rites and words that have beauty, symmetry, and rhythm. I have knowledge, wisdom, and secrets locked in my bosom, which I give to men who come desiring me in their hearts. I place on my altars holy writ and turn to the deity in prayer. I hold a square and compass it in my hands and contemplate a line from earth to heaven. I speculate with all the tools of operative Masons, and I translate their use into moral values and spiritual building. I await all free men of lawful age and good report, but solicit none. I admit them of their own free will and accord, and teach them brotherhood and unity. I make builders of men of those who are willing, and give them my tools that they may work. I stoop to raise the fallen brethren and cast out the unworthy. I walk in the way of charity and travel the road of peace and harmony. I render aid to the poor, the sick, and the distressed. I answer the cry of the orphan and sustain the widow and the aged. I commit to the earth brethren who travel to that undiscovered country. I ponder at that moment on the ravages of time as I stand at the door of eternity. I am a way of life that teaches immortality. I raise men from darkness to light. Take good care, brethren, and remain safe. We will meet again.